What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're taking a look at The Invisible Man from 1933, directed by James Whale, starring Claude Rains, and based off the H.G. Wells novel of the same name. The Invisible Man, of course, is a part of the Universal Classic Monsters stable of characters. So, all that out of the way, let's just briefly go over The Invisible Man. So, The Invisible Man will never go down as one of my all-time favorite Universal monsters and or movies, but it is a movie that I have a great amount of respect for and a great amount of appreciation for. What they're able to do with the technology at their hands in 90 years ago to create the illusion of invisibility was completely astounding. And when you watch the documentary and you hear people talk about what they did and the techniques that they used to create the illusion of invisibility, you got to give it up for the creative minds of James Whale, the director, and his special effects artists. Like, the both of them really put a lot of care and attention into making the illusion of invisibility believable, and just and got the most that they did out of it. So I give a lot of respect in that aspect. Tons of credit for James Whale, tons of credit for his team. From a production standpoint and special effects standpoint, this movie broke boundaries. This movie, it did some good stuff. Now, in terms of an overall story, the story of The Invisible Man, it's not that bad. Claude Rains plays a guy named Jack Griffin who discovers a formula for invisibility, and pretty much the entire movie is him trying to find a serum for it, and then he ultimately succumbs to the madness of it, and he wants to take over the world. So yeah, there's nothing really to it story-wise that this movie presents. I never read the Invisible Man book. I heard the book is a little bit better than in terms of characterizations of the Invisible Man, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna go based on what I seen in the film. But what I saw in the film, I thought Claude Rains as the Invisible Man, Jack Griffin, was really good. Claude Rains has got that very distinct voice, and of course, people remember Claude Rains as John Talbot from The Wolfman in 1941, which so he was good in that movie, and he's equally good in this movie, where he's pretty much the lead, and he has his own character that he's playing. I thought his performance as Jack Griffin, the Invisible Man, was really good. Like I said, it was damn good. There were a lot of moments where he can come across as being frightening, very theatrical and over the top, and also very comedically humorous in a lot of scenes as well. Like, James Whale was always known for having that darkly sardonic humor, and you see a lot of that in The Invisible Man. And a lot of the scenes that Claude Rains has when he's just pulling pranks on people as the Invisible Man is quite humorous and quite fun. And you can tell by hearing Claude Rains' voice that he has a certain amount of glee to it, which you can appreciate. It kind of radiates off the screen a little bit. But again, there are also other moments where where James Whale goes into a dark place and the Invisible Man becomes murderous, but again, you still get a sense of that sardonically dark humor that you chuckle at, even though it makes you uncomfortable in a lot of areas. Like when the Invisible Man kills his friend Kemp. After his friend Kemp betrays him to the police, he pretty much describes what's going to happen to this man as he's going to go to his doom. It's funny that way. You do have some tender moments here as well, like the scene where the Invisible Man is reunited with his girlfriend, played by Gloria Stewart, Flora. That scene was well done. Of course, I think this movie could have benefited from Jack Griffin having more of a conflict with himself. We don't get a lot of introspective moments of Jack Griffin, and we don't really see, and it's not really executed well enough of his madness while he's in invisibility mode. We get brief snippets of it here and there, but we never really get a sense of the struggle that he has, or for lack of a better phrase, we don't get enough of the struggle he has. A lot of the scenes what we see him in, we see him where he's just full blown, wants to just dominate everything as invisible, and we don't really get the conflict of himself and him wanting to go back. We get that at the beginning a little bit, but as the movie progresses, the movie kind of forgets about that, and it's almost as if Jack doesn't even want to be visible again. I think we could have some more introspective moments of that, because this is a guy who has a fiance who clearly loves him, and he loves her too, and the movie implies that he's only calm when she's around. So like, but when she was around, they had that little moment. Yeah, he was calm, but then within 12 seconds, he's talking about, I want to create an army of invisible this and invisible that. I want to take over the world and the government. So it's like, so it's almost as if, okay, so if Flora's supposed to calm him, why is he still acting over the top? Is what I'm asking. I don't think James Whale did a good job at creating more of a conflict within Jack Griffin. Like, maybe like, I mean, the movie implies that the serum he took affects the brain and stuff like that, but we don't see enough of the good side of Jack Griffin come out of him, is what I'm trying to get at. Until the very end of the movie, when he's on his deathbed. Then he all of a sudden has his introspective moment of, what have I done? So yeah, I thought that could have been handled a little bit better. There's some members of the supporting cast that could be quite annoying. Specifically Una O'Connor, who plays a barmaiden. Listen, I know back in her time she was considered she was a very funny and talented actress, but when you watch back, her voice is so screechy, she's so annoying. And I'm not gonna lie, she's very annoying in this movie. I didn't really care for her in Frankenstein, and I don't care for her in this. There's something about Una O'Connor. Una O'Connor is one of the most annoying actresses I've ever seen. Her voice is just so squeaky annoying. It's painful to listen to. But all the other cast members, I thought, play their roles exceptionally well. Especially the actor who plays Kemp. He pretty much comes across as like a cowardly guy. And he's the one who eventually betrays the Invisible Man to the police while the Invisible Man is being held refuge in his home. And this is what, of course, leads to the Invisible Man killing off Kemp. And the Invisible Man, he also, he kills a couple of police. Then he takes refuge in a barn. They find him, they burn him. And then he becomes visible again through I think it's like a blood transfusion or something like that. And that's when he has the moment of, I should have never meddled in what I meddled in. It has that typical, that typical Universal monster movie. Just, the villain regrets what he's done, and now he's, come to his demise. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts on the original Invisible Man movie. Overall, I think it's very solid. It's very, very good. 90 years later, this movie shows that it does stand the test of time in terms of its groundbreaking effects, and I enjoy it, which is why I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Invisible Man. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe. Check you back next time for more.